What's up, my cheddar boxes? I hope everybody is doing fine. I'm doing great over this side of town. We're back with another review. Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 8, Deny, Deny, Deny. So we're just going to jump right into it. It starts off with Branwyn and Chaz. They're back at Michael's house. They're laying in the bed, they talking. Branwyn asking Chaz what he's going to do once he go back to the hotel. And he was like, well, I'm just going to be, in the hotel thinking about you. And she was like, you're not going to explore the town? You're not going to do anything? You're like, Chaz trying to get some ass, okay? Chaz ain't worrying about the town. He ain't worrying about nothing. He worrying about you and your poontang, okay? That's what he worrying about. And you ain't trying to give it up at the moment. Because you could have gave him a little quickie. You really could have. So, Michael, which is Branwyn's best friend's baby father, he was the only one that was like clean and sober and that would allow her to stay there for her 4 months for her transitional period. But he had some strict rules at his apartment. He don't want, people in and out. He don't want, no, I think he said drinking and drugging, which is obviously. And he don't want Chad staying the night. He don't want all that hanky panky going on. And Branwyn, to me, I think that was like a blessing for her because she wasn't really trying to get Chad nothing any goddamn way. So that's an excuse not to have to give it to him. So it's a win-win for Branwyn. You know what I'm saying? So, Michael ended up coming into the house, so he laid down the rules, like the rules that I just stated. He don't want, people in and out his house. He want them to respect his house. And, he was like, I understand that y'all just got married because she did introduce Chaz as her husband. He was like, but I don't, you can't be here. And Chaz, he said he respected. He really thankful that he, was able to put, his wife up. And he's going to respect the rules of the house. But when he was in his confessional, he was saying, Dag, I thought Michael was going to at least give me a chance, a break or whatever to consummate my marriage. But then he also admitted that it might be a little weird for him to be getting down and dirty with Branwyn while Michael just an earshot away because it's a small apartment. But Branwyn wasn't giving you nothing anyway. Listen, y'all was in there. It was enough to get. It was enough time for y'all to get a little quickie in. Branwyn wasn't trying to give it to you. So, Chaz, they had that little conversation. Chaz ended up leaving. Chaz goes back to the hotel room. He had rose petals, all over the bed. He had a just got married sign. He had, car. He had it set up nice for, two people that just got married, newlyweds. So he explained to us that he was thinking either the parole officer or even Michael would have gave them a chance, but they didn't catch a break with anyone because basically, technically speaking, she's still a prisoner. They got her on like a release, a transitional release, but she still kind of got to abide by a lot of the same rules as if she was in jail. She just not. And sometimes I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, I understand for her it might be a good thing because she at home and she, out of prison or whatever like that. But it's like, what good is that if you still a prisoner? You know what I'm saying? Like, you giving me, access to all this freedom, but I'm still technically in jail. Like, that don't even make sense. But she was like, so Branwyn said that, she was kind of happy that Chaz left. She ain't said in them kind of words, but she was like, she was happy to be alone so she can unwind. She want to listen to her music. Branwyn is okay with Chaz not being there. Branwyn was okay without having to give him no ass, okay? Branwyn ain't trying to do none of that right now. She trying to get to know him because she met him while she was in jail. They, did phone visits. I think she seen him once in real life. Like, typically speaking, he's a stranger. And I get that. Like, let me grow into, but see, you know what? Hold on, let me backtrack. He's a stranger. saying, he feels strange to you. He's not familiar to you yet, but you married him. You married them. So, I mean, come on, fair is fair. You might got to get over there and just give him a little bit of cookie because you did marry him. Because would you marry a stranger? Like, in any other, circumstance, would you marry a stranger? You would get to court somebody first before you marry them, but you didn't do that. So I can't be on your side with this Branwyn. You better get that man some. You better give him some. So Chad's looking like a little, sad puppy. Because he was saying that after this week is going to be the last week that he get a chance to spend time with her because he has to go back to Kentucky and she's going to be, in Portland for that whole 4 months. So they're going to go back into being like a long distance couple. But at least he had more access to her, like with being in jail is a certain amount of times you can call and stuff like that. Even though it's a long distance relationship, y'all can talk all goddamn day, FaceTime all goddamn, say phone sex, whatever y'all want to do all goddamn day. So it's a little better than her actually being inside those prison walls. See, this is where the BS come in at, okay? This is where the BS come in at. We see Branwyn, she's, instead of her just chilling out like she said she want to do and listen to music, she calls Aaron. So while she's on the phone with Aaron, they're cutting the screen at Chad's on the phone with his sister. And he's telling his sister everything that's going on, saying how, she's staying with her best friend's baby daddy. And, he don't feel like, he not jealous of that situation. Then he was saying he just feel like, the distance might be like a little issue. He was like, but he don't feel like she, going to do him wrong or anything. So the sister was like, I don't know. It just seemed like a lot to take in. She's with her friend baby daddy, with the parole and all that. It's a lot of moving parts. And I understand what the sister talking about. But Chaz, he being optimistic. He's saying, that's his wife, and his, heart of hearts, he don't feel like she playing. Now we hear Branwyn, she's on the phone with Aaron. You remember Aaron is her ex-boyfriend, the one that came to the release. So they're on the phone and she was telling him like, well, it was super awkward that you came to the release knowing that, my new friend, man or whatever, fiance was going to be there. He was like, well, me and you friends, we've been through a lot together. You, partly I'm the reason why you were in jail. He was like, I just came as support. But then they started talking, and he was telling her how he still loved her and how he hoped that she didn't jump into a situation with him because he know the type of guys that she normally go for, and he's like different. So Branwyn was saying, well, all the guys that I typically go for, they always dog me out, so I wanted to try something different. But she like smiling when she talking to Aaron, and when she hung up the phone with Aaron, she was like, I think he still loved me. And she said that she still loved Aaron. No, he he still wants to be with her. And she said she still loved Aaron. She's super confused. You're not confused. You're not in love with Chaz. I feel like you a sweet girl. I feel like you did in your heart of hearts want to try something new because the people that you were, generally attracted to or in relationship with didn't do right for you. So Chaz was like a different speed for you, a breath of fresh air. But it was helpful because he was super supportive and he sent you money. He took care of you. So of course you was going to ride it out. I'm actually surprised that you went through with the marriage with him, to be quite honest. Because it don't seem like that Chaz is the man that you really want to be with. You like that toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? You that's what you like. That toxic shit is got you living in your friend's baby daddy apartment under all these strict rules and everything. That's what got you there. That's what got you in jail. The type of man that you like. Now you got this, ex-Marine. He might be a little dorky and quirky, quirky and all that old crap. He's financially stable. He's in love with you. Why not try it out? You understand what I'm saying? You done let him on. He done married you. He done did all this old crap. Why not try it out? I feel sorry for Chaz a little bit. So we're going to see how all this, play out with the two of them. Because Chaz did end up saying that he don't really trust the Aaron situation. So he want to keep his eye on it. You better. you better. And it ain't all about Aaron. It's up to your wife, because Aaron can try to push up on her all he won or whatever, because she called Aaron. Aaron didn't call her. Let's let that the record show that, okay? So let's just get this clown Harry and Indy out the way. Like, y'all know I can't stand him. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. To me, he's a wannabe tough guy. And, he's trying to put up this, persona for TV, and he might very well think that he is, but I've been around some tough guys, and you don't pair up with them, okay? You don't pair up with them. So anyway, he's over his sister Carla's house, and she's making him coffee while he's smoking his weed. They're talking about Indy and the situation, and she asked him straight out, "Are you done with her?" And he was like, "Well, it's just a lot to process," because his thing is he want everybody to just. Harry thing is he just want everybody to understand what he's going through from him coming home. He want to be able to do whatever he want to do, and nobody have no questions about it. You made these decisions when you were in jail. You made these promises to these women when you were, to at least to Indy when you were in prison. And now that you're out of prison, you think that you don't have to follow through on the promises that you made. And now you looking at her as that she's a nag. She just want to be yelling at you. She just want to be doing all this because she expects you to rise to the occasion. She expects you to honor what you said to her, even though she was a fool for thinking that a 24-year-old that been in jail for as long as that you were would be coming home trying to be in a, instant main family. He is a baby. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably why he come off so ignorant across on TV and stuff like that, because he still is a man child. He still is a child. Sometimes I think he got locked up when he was 20, 21. He been in jail. What was he in jail for 4 years? I don't know exactly how long he been in jail. But sometimes they are stifled to the age they went in jail at. He was a boy. So you want him to come out and be this man, but he's not a man yet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why you was thinking that he was going to come home and be this instant made father. He was going to be this. He was going to be that. Girl, please. I don't care what he was selling you. You should have known better. You should have known better. And then you talking to this psychic and you thinking she leading you through the way, but sometimes you got to use your common sense. The cards can't guard you. Guide you everywhere. And you got to use your common sense. So Indy is on the phone talking to, on Skype or whatever she's on, talking to the psychic. And, she basically want to see what the direction of the relationship is going, because Harry let us know that he's been going for a whole week. And he's talking about he was staying in Carla's. You wasn't really staying in Carla's house that whole time. You was at Terry's house. You know exactly where the hell you was at. And you talking about that time apart, was good for you and Indy have y'all get y'all time to get y'all thoughts together. Boy, crap, okay? Because you still on the same BS. You're still on the same BS. But the psychic had told Indy, like, listen, it is still love there. It's a lot of anxiety on Harry's part, which he called that right, because Harry is showing us that he has a lot of anxiety about actually being a productive member of society, being in a relationship, being everything that Indy wants him to be. He, choosing between the two women. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. He created a lot of this damn anxiety for himself, but we do see that he has a lot of anxiety about everything that's going on. So she was telling Indy, like, listen, you let him take charge. From day one, he's been in control. She was like, you got to take your power back. You got to step up. You got to take control. You got to let, basically lay the law down. And Indy was like, Harry, she was saying in her confessional, like, Harry, she gave him a little leeway because she know he was young. She know he just came out of jail, so she forgave him for the cheating. She said, but she felt like she gave him an inch, he taking a mile. She was like, she don't think that he ever stopped cheating on her since he was in the halfway house. No, you're right. Your intuition is right. He never stopped cheating on you. He was cheating on you the whole goddamn time. So you're spot on with that. So And so they flash back to Harry when he's over in Sister Carla's house. The phone rang. It was the PO. The PO got right up in his ass. He like, listen, what's going on? Because your sister been telling me that you ain't been here for weeks. He was like, oh, it's more than a couple days. He all smiling, laughing. Like he not showing. I mean, he's not laughing where you can hear the laugh, but the facial expressions that he was showing, he think it's a joke. Or that could have been like, because it was awkward and, for him. And, some people act like they out of, uncomfortable situations. But he was annoying me. Come on. You already was told that you need to stay at your sister's house every night. You out for a whole week. And then you keep saying that you worrying about your freedom. This never. I can't tell. From a viewer, I can't tell that you worrying about your goddamn freedom. Because you doing everything to go back to jail. Because if my parole officer told me that I had to stay at my sister's house every night, guess where I would be? At my sister's house every goddamn night. Every time that he called that phone, that's where I would be. So it's like you're talking out of both sides of your ass, okay? Get out of here. So the parole officer said, listen, well, this is how it is. If I don't have an address by 6 o'clock tonight, your ass is going, I'm going to put a warrant out on you, and your ass is going back to jail. Period. Point blank. I don't want to hear nothing else. That phone call ended. So, Carter was like, well, oh shit. He was like, listen, I'm gonna have to figure this out because I gotta get, figure, address out because I'm not trying to go back to jail. Carter ain't offer a put house. So I'm wondering what's the situation with that. Is she a convicted fella and she can't allow you to stay there, or she just don't want your ass there? I don't know. But what I will say is Lydia wasn't playing with him. She told the PO he ain't been here and I want my address off his parole. That's right, Lydia. That's right. You ain't listen. Indy might be stupid for him, but you ain't letting him run the game off on you. That's right, Lydia. I don't blame you. So Harry decides to take his behind back to Lily. Is it Lily? Because he was saying Lily. Is it Lily or Lydia? Whichever it is, his sister's house where Indy stays. And he snuck in the house because he said he wanted to have a private conversation with Indy. So we already know that the psychic already told Indy that she got to take charge. She got to stop letting him, be in control of the situation. So Indy kind of handled herself good in this interaction between the two of them. She didn't just let him talk all over her. She was able to get how she was feeling across, and he ain't like that. He is full of crap, and like Indy said, he's a narcissist and he's a liar. Okay. So she was asking him where he was at, and was he with Terry, and he go sit up there and say, I think he said something to the fact, well, we don't need to talk about that. What? What you mean we don't need to talk about that? You think you gonna come walking your ass up in here a week later and we ain't about to have that conversation? Who? What? Boy, if you don't sit your child. First of all, see, Indy gave him a little bit too much control, because she left where her family, her home state with her daughter to come stay with him. She allowed him to, like the psychic said, have all control. So he think that he could just do and say what he want. But Harry, you're not coming with no money. You don't have anything. It's not even like she's in your home. She's in your sister's home. You don't have anything to be talking as cocky as you're talking. He put that jacket back on after they got finished arguing. The sleeves was even dirty. You didn't even wash your coat. You were filthy. Like, come on. Like, and you talking all this talk. You sound stupid. You look ridiculous. Child, please. And you keep on sitting up there talking about your freedom. I'm not going to let nobody jeopardize my freedom. Boy, please. You're jeopardizing your own goddamn freedom. Come on, you sound stupid. It ain't got nothing to do with the actions that you're making. You're doing it on your own. So they were in there talking, and Indy was saying, how she feel as though, a lot of the promise that he made to her, he not following through. And he admitted to that. He was like, yeah, I might, have some shortcomings. I'm not coming through with what I said I was going to come through. She was like, you lied about spending time with Coco. She was like, I felt like you let both of us down. You supposed to be, a father figure to her, and you been MIA for the both of us. Now, Indy, I'm going to stop you on that one. Because I don't care what he might have said to you about how he's going to be in Coco life and what he was going to do and all this stuff. He ain't even in his own daughter life. And that's sometimes stuff that you got to look at. You have to look at the things that was going on in his life prior to you coming into it. That because you're in and not going to make him change who he is. If he wasn't a father to his own goddamn child, how the hell you think he going to be a father to yours? Now make that make sense. Make that make sense. So she was saying to him, like, well, were you a Terry? You know, well, I said that already. She was asking him if he was with Terry. He basically didn't even say, he basically didn't even answer that. And then he was trying to say, oh, I'm trying to talk and you talking over me. And she was like, well, listen, I'm tired of, you know, the BS. Indy is over him. And she, I think she's starting to get her strength back a little bit. I think she's starting to get her voice a little bit. And it seemed like, you know, hopefully she make the decision that she take her and her daughter back home. Because Harry is a lost cause, Indy. Harry is a lost cause. And I heard through the grapevine that y'all no longer together because y'all all going back and forth on the blogs and everything like that. I don't know exactly when you decided to leave, but that was the best decision that you ever made. That was the best decision you ever made. And he goes, you know, Harry always talk about how he don't have to answer to no one. And, okay, you got to answer to somebody, bruh. Because now you scrambling trying to get you a daggone address for the PO, so you definitely answering to him. And you gonna tell Indy that you mad at Lily because she reported you to the PO. And Indy said right off the bat, well, what did you expect her to do? She told you from the jump what was her rules, and you didn't abide by them. So what was she supposed to do? Like, and then he all sitting up there looking stupid. Yeah, what were you supposed to do? Lily or Lydia, whatever her name is, she ain't playing with you, and I don't blame her. You're a joke, okay? You're a joke. So the conversation basically didn't go nowhere. He complaining that she won't allow him to talk, so she always screaming about communication, but she not allowing him to talk. She ain't talking because you're trying to blow smoke up her ass. You're talking a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, oh, you not focused on the Terry situation. You trying to focus on your relationship with Indy. Child. You trying to blow bubbles up Indy ass, and she ain't going for it, okay? Indy shut that conversation short. She stormed up the steps, and when she stormed up the steps, he gonna talk about at least she listened. Oh, okay. She can listen to you, all right, but she gonna listen to you with me back in Maryland, okay? Because I ain't gonna be I'm not gonna be entertaining any of this. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a strong support system back in Maryland. You got a nice close-knit family. You don't have to be bothered with the likeness of Harry. He brings nothing to the table. He brings nothing of value. No, he brings nothing to the table. No, he don't come with no emotional support. He don't come with no financial support. He don't come with anything but a bunch of trouble. Leave him where he stands. That's all I gotta talk about them. I'm not even wasting no more breath on them for this review. Okay, so Raydeen, well, we here with Rick and Raydeen. So Raydeen is going to actually have to get it together, and she's going to have to let Rick know what it is. She obviously don't want Rick. She obviously is only in love with Kay. So you're going to have to let him know what it is. You're saying you're not trying to use him, but technically you are. You are, because you're not in love with him. You don't even like him. I think you're grossed out by him. So let him go so he can do him with somebody else, okay? So we see Raydeen, she was in the car on her way to Rick. She said that, he sent her like this random location, and she kind of a little nervous about it because she's like, he knows that she doesn't like surprises. So when she get there, we figured it out. Rick used his buddy backyard. The buddy had like a swimming pool and a hot tub back there. So he put like rose petals down. He had chocolate covered strawberries. He had like a cheese tray. He was pulling out all the stops. Now, I don't know if it was just me, but that even though, the night, they had the hot tub and the pool, but that backyard just came up to me dirty. I don't know if I would have been like comfortable back there for me myself. Anyway. So, he had bathing suits all picked out for her. And she said she was a little bit nervous about putting one on because she'd been in jail and she hasn't had a teen and she just didn't really feel that sexy. But when she came out, she had like a red little two-piece bikini on. Looked nice. She didn't look bad in it. So she said, ironically, she felt sexy. So I'm like, oh, okay. Rick he must have went in there and got his swim trunks on. They were in a hot tub. They were, making out. And he asked her, he was like, well, how do your folks, parents feel about the situation? He was like, because I know it was a little awkward when, I last was with them. And she was like, that was in the past. We're going, start, fresh from there. I don't even want to talk about this. So they agreed not to talk about it. So Rick is all being all like creepy, just like, to me, just, I don't know what's up with these older men. They just like just want to touch you too much, just all over you. I don't think they get the cues. Like, women don't like that too much. Women don't like that too much. Like, all right, just calm yourself down a little bit. Calm yourself down. It comes off a little bit, gross. And then he has the yellowest teeth, and between his yellow teeth, and he always cracking his big old smile, and between her methed out teeth with all the black stuff, child, it is like a dentist's dream, the both of them, to be able to work on their mouth. I'm telling you, a dentist's dream, okay? Y'all might need to go run to a dentist to get your mouth handled, okay? So, so So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but it just grossed me out. They were, he wanted to rub her feet, and she was like, you want to rub my feet? And she was like, yeah, I told you when you got out, I wanted to kiss and touch every part of you. I'm like, oh, okay. So he was rubbing her feet. He was trying to get it in the hot tub, but she didn't want to give him any. And that's because she grossed out by him. And she was telling the producers that the whole time that she was in the hot tub, she was hoping that she was thinking about Kay. She wanted it to be Kay. So you already letting us know that you don't want anything to do with Rick. Stop turning, stop leading him on. I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it. Like, Rick might be gross, he might be creepy, but somebody will like him. And she talking about she is attracted to him. He got this nice smile. His what she said, gray or green eyes or something like that. Yeah, you're full of shit. You're not attracted to him, so stop lying. So Rick is now back at the house with where he have the roommate Ramona. So him and Ramona is talking. He was telling, Ramona how Ray Dean spent the whole day showing him how, she's committed to the relationship. They had a wonderful time. So Ramona was like, oh, yeah, well, where is she? And Rick was like, well, she's back at her parents' house. She was like, she's back at her parents' house. So Ramona basically was telling him, she was like, listen, something doesn't seem right. She was like, she's hiding something. She was like, she should want to be with you. And he was like, well, if you would just see us together, you would understand, you would see what I'm talking about. You would see that we good. And she was like, yeah, that's the problem. I never see y'all together. She was like, she's never around. I thought that y'all would be spending a lot more time together. She's never over here. So how am I going to be able to witness what y'all got going on? She said to Rick, she was like, I'm just got to be honest with you. Something just doesn't seem right. And Rick was like, I'm a Scorpio, but sometimes I act like I'm, sometimes I think that I'm a Taurus. He was like, because I keep going head first into these red flags. Because Ramona said, well, there's a ton of red flags in this situation. And Rick knows it. She was like, she didn't tell you that she had a girlfriend. It's a lot of things that's going on that you didn't even know about. And Rick, he understands what's going on. He love her, but he knows something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And like, she was like, you never wanted kids, but then you was talking about getting reversing your vasectomy, so you can pop one in her. She was like, but she's not reciprocating that energy, and she's not. And Ramona was telling the producer, she said, if I was away from my boyfriend or somebody that I cared about for 4 years, When we got back together, that's all we would be. I would be on him like white on rice. That's all we were doing is pounding. I was cracking up. I was like, Ramona. She was like, I was like, Ramona, now calm down. I know you want to jump on Rick Bones, but Rick don't see you in that way, okay? He don't see you in that way. But Ramona got some sense. Ramona has sense. And Rick listened to Ramona. Because then we see Radine. She's at a coffee shop. She's all in her feelings because she hasn't been able to speak to Kay. Kay got moved from county to state. So that means she must have just got sentenced and they moved her. Because normally you in county until you have trial. And once you have trial, depending on what the outcome of the case is, you can either go home if you beat it or they'll send you to state. And that's what they did. They sent her to state. So that's telling me that she's at the beginning of her. Well, I won't say that because sometimes you can be in county for up to 2-3 years. Some people sit in county alone. So I don't know exactly how long she was in county before she was able to get her trial and sentence. But she got a lot more time to do. I think they already told her she got at least over 4 years to do. I'm not exactly sure. So, and I don't know how long she been in there, like what time served and stuff like that. We know Radine was in there for like 2.5 years. So, I don't know. So she calls the prison, and when she was trying to get information, she said her wife. So I'm like, your wife? Yeah, that's just something you were trying to, say so you can get more information from the prison, or is she actually your wife? So the producer called on to that too. He was like, hold on. You called her your wife. Are you guys married? And she was like, yup. She was like, don't know. She said, it's a secret. Don't nobody know, but we are married. He was like, well, are you going to tell Rick? She was like, I don't want to. And I'm like, well, damn, you don't want to tell Rick that you married? But you just told your daddy that you wasn't trying to use him because your daddy said that's not what we do. So why wouldn't you want to tell Rick that you married and that you're no longer available to him if you wasn't trying to use him? Make that make sense, Radine? What you trying to, get some veneers off of Rick? What are you trying to do? Trying to get, what are you trying to get out of him? Listen, I don't know, but it don't seem like Rick is going to be too happy. I will say that, okay? So moving on from them. Now we have Kayla and Martell. Today is the day of the release from him being he's being released out of the halfway house. He was in there for 2 months. Kayla is running a little behind. She can't find her phone. She says she overslept. So she's rushing to get to him. She says she won't reach him until about 10:38. And he was to be released at 10 o'clock. So that means he was roughly out there for almost 40 minutes just waiting on her. So when she gets there, he's pissed off. Like, you late. Why you late? She was like, well, I'm sorry. I'm super tired. I overslept. So she's trying to pacify it or whatever. Like, give me a kiss and hug him. And he's not really feeling it. It was like he's only worrying about how he felt in that moment. He's not taking into consideration, I don't know what she do for a living. I don't know how hard she working, to keep the house together, to how many jobs she working. We don't know all the backstory. So my thing is, she's there for you. She's been there for you. If she's saying she's tired, give her a break. Give her a goddamn break. Like, come on, it's annoying. So he gets in the car. He was like, you got me waiting out here all alone. It's super cold. She was like, well, did you melt? Like, did you, I think she said melt away. What else something to the fact? Not melt away, because that would be like it was hot. But she said something. Did you freeze over? And he was like, what you think? So she touched him, and she was like, no, you didn't. Like, come on. So she was asking him that what did he want to do today? Because she's super hungry. She want to go somewhere to get something to eat. So in the process of her talking to him about that, one of his homies called, which is his barber. And his barber was asking him, like, well, what time he was going to get there? He was like, well, I'm going to get there a little later because, I was late with, getting my day started. So the barber was like, cool. So she's talking about she want to go. She's back on it, like she want to go get some breakfast, a nice spot. And he was like, listen, I'm going to go see my barber. I got my own plans. He said he wanted to go to a strip club, get some bottles. And he want to do what he want to do. And Kayla not feeling it, and I ain't feeling it either. He's a jerk. And at first I was, a little on the fence with Martell, but I don't like him. I don't like Martell. I think he's a piece of work. I think he is a control freak. I think he is a narcissist. I think, he's just around he's not a person that I would want to be with. Okay, he's not. He's not sympathetic to anyone's feelings. He's selfish. I don't like it. So so he's still pissed at her because he got a late start, and he was saying he was saying that he don't feel like anybody should be late when they have a meeting scheduled. Well, shit happens, things happens, people run late. It's not the end of the world. You'll be okay. So they end up pulling up to the barbershop, and he told the producer, well, she can stay in the car. I'm going to go get my hair done. And she was like, see, I'm getting sick and tired of the disrespect. Who is he to say that I'm going to stay in my car, the very car that got him to where he was trying to go? She was like, no, I'm tired of the disrespect. Kayla pulled off on his butt. And guess what? Rightfully so. Because you are a jerk, and you're not going to be treating me like I'm less than, or I got to listen to you, or I got to be on your time and your clock. Like she said, he didn't take anything that she wanted to do into consideration. He didn't factor her into his day out. It's so many red flags, Kayla. So many red flags. So moving on for now. Now we have Taylor and Chance. We see Chance, he's at a jewelry store with one of his buddies, and he's looking for rings for Taylor. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know we was there yet, but I guess we are, So, they're looking at rings. He was telling the jeweler that he just got out of prison. They always lead with, I just got out of prison. I don't know if the producers tell them to say it. Oh, I was, let them know you were in jail. Because it's like, and then the person at the counter, wherever store it is, they always looking like so surprised. So she was like, oh, well, how long were you in there for? He was like, 8 years. She was like, oh. I'm like, and at every moment, she probably thinking like, okay, let me secure the rings. Because I don't know if he gonna come and try to steal it or stick me up. You know what I mean? So he told her that his budget was $550, and do she think that it would be they have something in that range? So she picked out a ring. It was pretty small, but for $550, what you expect, it wasn't bad. So he was like, I think it was like $509 or something like that. And then he also said that he needed to get 3 promise rings for the little girls. So the friend heard, I guess he didn't know as much bag as Taylor had. So he was like, oh, you got 3 girls. He said, you sure you ready for that? And Taylor was like, Chance was like, yeah, those little girls just stole my heart. We like kindred spirits. He was like, that's a lie. He was like, with you just getting out. And he was telling producers that Chance, he seen him in relationships with people, but he was always super, like insecure, always questioning who they were with, like the intentions of the people that they were. It just never, really worked out. But with Bobby, he said it's a little different. He said he don't have to worry about her intentions. He said he trusts her. He's fully committed. He was like, there's a lot of cuties out there, but can you really find somebody that you can completely trust? So he told us that he got a job. He making $20 an hour. So I guess he probably feeling, good about himself. And Chance don't seem like he's a bad guy. Because like he said that when he first came home, he butted heads with Bobby because he brought a lot of those prison hostilities into the situation. And he was like, it wasn't fair. So if he can get out of that prison mentality and that controlling mentality, they might have a chance. Because he seemed like he really genuinely do like Taylor. But, love Taylor. But my thing is, do you only love her because you think that you don't have to worry about anything? The minute where she start, going out, hanging out with her friends, or is the jealousy going to kick in? Like, what's going to be the situation with that? Because the friend was like, listen, I just want you to know this is a big step, and I hope you're ready for it. Taylor seems like he's convinced that he is. Chance feel like he's convinced that he is. So we'll see. So Chance get back to the house, and we see Taylor. She's in a lot of pain. So she was saying that it's like on her side, and it hurt to the touch and everything. So they was Googling what it could be. So it was like gastro, and intestinal problems. It could have been pancreatic, something with the pancreas. It could have been like a slew of different things. So he was like, well, do you think you want to go to the doctor? She was a little bit like hesitant. He was like, I think if we're going to go to the doctor, then we need to hurry it up. So they end up, getting in the car and going to the doctor. He ended up having to even speed a little bit because it was like progressing as she was in the car. So I don't know, like Taylor, like she looked like she was crying when he first walked in. So Bobby did so we found out that Bobby did come and watch the girls while they were at the hospital. She was in there, for the hospital for until like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So he kept on coming out giving the producers updates. They were saying it was like when they did like a CT scan, they seen a lot of inflammation. They seen a lot going on. They wanted to actually transport her into a different hospital to get I guess just in case she might have got needed surgery. So come to find out. Before they end up transporting her ass to the goddamn or hospital, the other hospital, her and Chance come walking out the goddamn or hospital. Come to find out, she had like an infection, but the infection was caused by rough sex, doing too many different positions of sex. And she was like, it was so embarrassing. I be like, Chance probably was pampering himself on the goddamn going bed. Like, yeah, I did that. And she was embarrassed as hell, but it was like funny. They was, laughing about it. I'm like, well, damn, Chance, what you working with? Or are you that, you got, I was about to say, or are you that little, you got to be pounding? No, but he got to be working with a little son, because even if you was little pounding, it wouldn't make that effect. I'm like, damn. Oh my god, y'all really be getting it in. Like, he tearing that up. He got 8 years to make up for it, and he taking out on your punani. He taking out on your punani. So they sent her home. They probably gave her like a little antibiotic. Taylor is fine. But I was like, oh my goodness, the shit that you learned. I didn't even know that was even something that was possible happening. But they told us that it was. We seen that it was. Taylor walked out. She was, she was embarrassed. But it was like, it was cute. It was funny. It ain't really nothing to be embarrassed about. You're getting your rocks off, and nothing to be embarrassed about, okay? You and your man is having fun living life. Ain't nothing to be embarrassed. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, okay? But, Taylor, Chance, that's all I'm going to say to you is calm down, buddy. Calm down. When you in it, stroke it slow. You ain't got to be in it like a jackrabbit, okay? Pumping on whore, okay? Because we don't want her back in the hospital. So we're moving on to the next couple, which is Antoine and Lacey. So we remember that Lacey didn't sign for the car for Antoine, so he's still in his feelings about that. So Lacey drives up to this, I don't know exactly where she was at, but it was overlooking the water with nice like little, boats and things like that, and it was all lit up. So he was like, well, why are we here? She was like, well, I thought it would be nice for us to, relax and just enjoy the sights. He was like, well, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. And she was like, you just being, basically she was saying he was being a dick or whatever. He was like, listen, you didn't tell me that we were coming here. I wasn't prepared for this. I just want to go home. I'm not feeling it. So she was like, well, just get out the car. You might like it. So he got out the car. He wasn't liking it. He was mad. He said he was cold. He was ready to go. So she got in her feelings. They got back in the car. So she was telling us that he's just mad because she didn't sign for the loan. She was like, I know it's going to be hard for him to get a loan and, get his credit together and, possibly get a job. She was like, but these are the things that he needs to do to be a productive member of society, which she's absolutely right. He want her to just do what he want her to do for him, but he's not trying to, put any in the work. You have no job. You got stimulus money, but you don't have no job. She signed for that loan. She got to pay that car payment. You was convicted of selling the car. Well, you think I'm about to put a car in my name for you? You out your mind. That's not happening. Not putting over what? That's not happening. So, they are, they kind of like going back and forth or whatever on the way back home or whatever. She was saying that he was childish, ungrateful. So when they got home, they had like a little argument, and she was like, you just been disrespectful, ungrateful since you've been home. He goes in the back and he gets this letter. And apparently, I guess he was going to use it when he needed to use it to get out of the trouble that he might have been in with her. So he figured this was the time to do it. So apparently Lacey wrote him a letter while he was in prison, acting like baiting him, acting like she was this other woman, and asking him if she, if he had a girlfriend, talking about how she wanted to screw him and this and the other. So he said he kind of recognizes the the handwriting. He was like, he knew it was a setup because it was super aggressive. He said he asked some people that he knew to look this person up on Facebook. I guess nobody came back with any information, about who this person was. So he said he knew it. So he brought it up to Lacey. He compared it to her grocery list, and he was like, it's the same handwriting. So Lacey agreed that it was her. And I'm like, damn, Lacey. So her response to it was like, I just wanted to make sure before you came home that, I could trust you, basically. But I'm like, Lacey, you're a little weird. You're a little strange. I'm like, to even think about doing something like that is weird. You know what I mean? So the producers had asked him, well, if you had cheated on Lacey, would you had told? He said, I would never cheat. I would never tell Lacey I cheated on her, even if she caught me. I will never admit to cheating. I'm like, well, damn. Okay. So she goes in the room. He was like, he was sleeping out on the couch. She was mad. They was arguing back and forth. She goes throw the pillow at him. He's talking about it's more comfortable out here anyway. I'm like, he is a goddamn going jerk. I don't see them working. He's immature. He has a hood mentality. You know what I'm saying? He's not ready for what she's ready for. He's not grown up. He's going to be back in jail. He's going to be back in jail. Mark my words. He's going to be back in jail. He's just not ready for what she's ready for. And, you can't really blame him and, for not being ready for it. But I just feel like these people just need to be honest with the people that's waiting on them when they're in jail. But jail is all about survival, and they use people to survive. And that's just what it is. So it work out for some people, and some people it don't. And I forgot exactly how many years you are his senior, but he's young, he's immature. His mom told you that he wasn't shit. His mom already warned you. You chalked it up as though she just don't want nobody with her son. But she knew who her son was. She said it. And it's coming. And listen, he only been a couple days out of jail, and he's showing his true colors. So, so it's the next day, and I guess Antoine is done with being, mad at Lacey or having Lacey mad at him, or he's just trying to manipulate her so he can get what he wants. Okay, so he comes into the room where she is, and I have never seen him without a blunt or a vape pen in his hand the whole 3 days that he's been out. I'm like, you might need to find something else to occupy your time, because it's like, you stay loaded. I mean, a vape pen, you don't get high off of it, but I never seen you without one. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't like seeing it every time I see you. So, but Lacey was no better, because you seen one right on her bedside table. So I was like, I know that's doing such damage to your lungs, such damage. So, they were talking, and Lacey was telling in the confessional, she was like, when Antoine was in jail, that's all we did was laugh. We had a lot of fun together. We talked about, life. And then he's a whole totally different person since he's been home. Because when you're in jail, that's all you can think about is all the nice things, all, the fun things. When you come home, it's a reality. And y'all expect them to come home and everything to be perfect. Y'all expect them to be in this perfect headspace that, these loving people, this and the other. Y'all don't give them time to adjust to society. Now, granted, I understand that they made the choice to want to be in a relationship, while they were in jail and, and upon their release. I understand that. But y'all, the people that's home, that has been home, y'all have to give them just a little bit of time to make that adjustment. Not like, oh, you said you was going to do this. You said you was going to do that. Like, harp. They said they were going to do that. But give them time to be able to do it. Let them, mentally get adjusted to being home. Let them find a job. Let them get, stable a little bit. Like, it's not off and running soon they get home all the time. It's not that way. Some people are fortunate that they are able to, and some people aren't. So allow them that space. Prepare for that space. I feel like the people that's home waiting for the people that come home, get out of jail. Y'all need to prepare. Y'all should already in your minds, allow for them to have that space. Y'all not doing it, and that's where a lot of the problems is coming from. Now, Harry, in his case, he's a complete ass. I don't even think if you allow him to have that space, Harry would do right. You understand what I'm saying? He's a lost cause. But like in some other cases, you know, that's all the person coming out need that time. In some of these cases. Or whatever. So, you know, they were talking and he was saying how he just don't want to fight, you know, anymore. And she has to understand that, you know, it's an adjustment for him. He has never been in a serious relationship. He has never lived with anyone else but his mom. And it's a lot of anxiety behind it. And, you know, I completely understand. And then she said she expected him to be weird because he was in solitary confinement and didn't have any other human connection with people. So why do you think he's not going to be, like, he's going to give you problems in the beginning? It's not only that he was in jail, he was in solitary confinement. He need to go see a therapist. Now he don't need to be laying up in between your crotch. He need to be in therapy. That's where he really need to be. So they were, you know, deciding what they wanted to do for the day. She said that she wanted to hook up with her sister, and her sister is dying to meet him. She asked him if he wanted to go. He was like, well, honestly, I wanted to meet up with my friend Josiah. I think she was like, he just got out like a month and a half ago. You know, we haven't seen each other for about 8 years, you know, due to both of our incarceration. So Lacey wasn't really feeling it, but she ain't go against it. So he told Lacey he needed a ride. She was like, oh, that's why you came in here, because you need a ride. So he started laughing. But Lacey not really feeling it. She said she don't really know about his homies or, you know, female friends as well. But the ones that she do know aren't good influences on him. He's not around any good influences anyway. His mom is not a good influence on him. He's around toxic people. You know, and it seems like that's what he's gravitating towards, the toxic people. He's not trying to change. Some people, would take a long time for them, you know, to be in and out of jail and for them to be like, okay, it's over with. I don't want to do this anymore. And some people never change. And he seemed like, I don't think he's going to change. I don't think so. That's all I got for them too, because it's annoying. So that's all I got for this episode. I ain't got no more. If I missed anything, you guys can put it in the comment down below. If you guys like the content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to holler at your girl. Bye.